tired of CRA give me money and take it back. I'm sick of it. Is Canada still the place to live, to prosper, to raise your family? That's the question that a lot of people are asking themselves, because a lot of people are thinking about going back home. A lot of people are actually going back to their home country. After Canada is now going through an inflation like everywhere else in the world, but Canada is going through an extreme housing crisis. And it just begs the question, is it the right place for you and your family to pack up everything from Jamaica, Caribbean, wherever it is in the world, to come for a better life?
This is what packing up to go home mean.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now my name is Marcos. If you're watching this video for the first time, kindly remember to subscribe to my channel, remember to comment, like and share my videos. To my new subscribers, welcome on board. So guys, I'm still on this issue between life in Jamaica and life in Canada. So my brothers from Jamaicans, my brothers and sisters from Jamaicans have tasted life in Jamaica, life in Canada. There's a video I did about many Jamaicans who are complaining that in Canada, life is not good. So they were going back home. Now, in this video, I have managed to get some of the Jamaicans who are living in Canada, who are trying to compare how life is in Canada and in Jamaica. So let's go into this video and I'll be back with more views.
Hi, if you're new here, my name is Andrea and I'm a Jamaican living in Canada, and I just like to give my perspective on how things are going in Canada, how you can come to Canada for yourself. And I want to give you guys an update on my perspective in Canada. Recently, I've been feeling like I would go back home to Jamaica. So, I'm going to keep it real with you guys and let you know everything that is going on here in Canada and what my experience has been like. And for the most part, I can say that it has been positive. But has it been easy? No, it hasn't been easy. Major contributing factors to people deciding to pack up and go back home is healthcare in Canada. The access to healthcare here is just not there. In order for you to see your doctor, it's taking at least 2 weeks for you to see your family doctor. You have a family doctor. You can go online, you can book, but bookings are all the way to 2 weeks. 2 weeks. The access to walk-in clinics is just not there. So if you even say, okay, I'm going to go to a walk-in clinic, when you go, they're either full or they're closing early or something has happened. The wait times are extremely long. If you go to the hospital, I had to take Jada to the hospital the other day, and it took me 16 hours to get through at the hospital with my little baby girl. And that broke my heart. And I know that probably it's the same in Jamaica, meaning that maybe wait times are longer, but I can tell you this much, it's easier for me to access a private doctor in Jamaica. I just pay my money and I'm good to go. So for that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are packing up, and I'm seriously considering packing up and going back home for that reason, number one. Number two is the housing crisis that's happening here in Canada. If you look at the mortgage rates the average mortgage rate in Canada was $1,400 just a few months ago, and now it's $3,500. $3,500. I don't know where in the world prices have increased and have actually gone back down when it comes to things like housing. So I feel like these prices are gonna be here to stay. And when I look at how the Canadian mortgage system is set up, I feel like, I want to purchase my forever home. Yeah, I know a property is an investment. Maybe I still will buy in Canada here. I don't know. But when I look at it now, in the next 3 years' time, what if I don't qualify for that mortgage? Then my house is going to go into foreclosure. Because that's how Canadian mortgage system works here. In Jamaica, if you have a mortgage for 25 years, you have it for 25 years. They're not going to reassess you for anything. Here in Canada, they reassess you for your eligibility on your mortgage, which is ridiculous. It's the heavy taxes that we pay in Canada. We pay a lot of taxes. My God, when I look at my pay stub, I'm like, wow. I had to write HR to find out if this is real, because I'm expecting a lot more money than this after tax. Like, really? But anyways, the taxes that we pay here are so freaking high, and the freaking benefits that we get are not benefits. I am so tired, and I'm so sorry for cursing, but I am sick and tired of CRA giving me money. But tired of CRA giving me money and take it back. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. Every single time CRA give me money, then them say I owe them. Right now, CRA is telling me that I owe them $7,000. For what? Just because I did my taxes and added my husband to my taxes. Right? And he's new to Canada. Now, I call them. I've been calling them for 3 months trying to get this resolved. For 3 months trying to get this. I think it's probably about 4 months now. I've been trying to call them to get this resolved. And the matter has still not been resolved. Right? And I think it's disgusting that the government pretends that they're giving you a benefit. And while they're taxing the hell out of you. Right? And you can't even get good service from them. You can't even get good service from them. Somebody actually hung up the phone on me the other day. Very rude. And there was no recourse. There was just like nobody that I could talk to report him too easily. Like it was just like I had to wait 1 more hour to get back on the phone with somebody. It's just ridiculous. Those are some of the major things. And I think those are really, really major things. You know, I just watched a video with this young man who said that he took his child to the park and no white children would play with her every single time. And he lives in British Columbia. And I have that very same experience that he has. Every single time I take Jada to the park, and my baby is so friendly. She's very friendly, very polite, loves to share. And I find that only non-white children will actually play with her. So it begs the question as to what those parents are actually telling their children. I think that if you have a good life in Jamaica and you can find your way, find your way. Find your way. You're going to be much happier in Jamaica. Find a way to make it work and to be happy in Jamaica. No one better than yard.
I am getting a lot of messages from you all. Persons wanting to interview me. I am not interested in interview at any time. At this time, I am refocusing, rebuilding my composure. But I am not interested in any interview with anybody at this time. But many of you are asking for me to do back to school treat and for me to help to send back children to school. One of the reasons why people don't like me is because I'm open and I speak it as it is. When I was living in Jamaica, I assist children in going back to school. I assist the community as best as I could. I assist my family members. I spend my money and assist persons. Now that I am in Canada, I am not able to do that anymore. Financially, I am 10 times worse in Canada. My friends that are here for 40 years, I ask them how they manage to can buy a house and whatever. Well, most of them cannot buy any house. Or persons who do buy a house have to sell it back because they can't afford to maintain the house. And they will buy a piece of land in Jamaica from when I go build back on their family house, family lands down there, or add onto them family land down there. And that is how they survive. And they do that over a 20-year span. Because there's no way Chris and I are here working that we could afford to help anybody or build anything or buy a house or whatever we have in Jamaica, whatever we had back home in Jamaica, whatever money, is that we have to have for our future. There's nothing in Canada to add to it. So if you are thinking about life goal or you're thinking about Canada is not the place for you. Canada is a place of quiet and peace and contentment. And when your heart full of troubles, you come to Canada, come retire. Canada is a retirement place. No money is here. Well, no money is here for me. Maybe if we decided to do 2 other jobs, that Chris will do 2 jobs and I would do 2 more, then we would have 6 jobs together then maybe we could assist persons buy big house and big car and could live if we're willing to do 6 jobs. I am fighting poor health. Chris have to manage to work the little bamboo as best as him can. So Chris cannot do more than 1 job because in free time I have to spend working on me. So we don't have anything to give anybody. The minimum wage, we're almost working minimum wage. Canada don't recognize degree and PhD and all of that. Canada is a skill country. So come here with your qualification means 0. So if you are interested in money, you have to go to the United States of America, not Canada. The dollar is weak. Food bill, $500 in Canada can just feed you for 1.5 weeks. 1.5 weeks. Nothing is in Canada. So I don't have any money to put on treat. I don't have anything like that. I am worse off financially in Canada. So we are trying to carry down this mattress. You know how Canada bed something stay already with this. So Chris are trying to pull up the bed base. See? According to Chris, this base can pull up. So imagine me sick with my back and Chris sick with him back. And we have to pack all of this. And this is just for Chris little corner, you know. This is just for Chris little corner for pack. And you see Chris now, Chris loving junk them like how me love me junk them, you know. So I wonder if Chris carry all of the big old winter clothes them go back to Jamaica where we no need. You can't tell him if you no carry all something them kind of bakes like a hell. So this bed head here, when I buy at the brick, I not left it. And see me kiss me, baby, there. So, I don't know how it will go.
Jamaican men are depressed over here in Canada. Listen, can we talk about how a Jamaican man can get depressed when he comes to Canada? A lot of people had warned me about this before my husband came to Canada, that listen, don't force him, let him come on his own time, because when the Jamaican man them come to Canada, it take a toll on them, and especially if the man was coming from a situation where he was in a corporate job, where he was getting paid a really good salary with benefits and all of that. When he comes to Canada and have to adjust his life to what Canada is, and this is not applicable to all situations. Sometimes some people come and them land in a really good job and it's equivalent to what they had in Jamaica. I'm not talking about those circumstances. I'm talking about, you know, when the man come to Canada and he have to do something completely different from what he used to doing back home in Jamaica. That will take a toll on your man. When I say that will take a toll on your man, that will take a toll on your man. And I know coming to Canada is an opportunity for a lot of people. A lot of other men there and them well on the bus, and them when them come to Canada, them get to do things that they never did before with themselves. Not talking about those people either. But I know for sure that a lot of Jamaican men, when they come here and they have to be working some odd jobs, when they have to be doing some things that, you know, they never did before, when they used to have money a certain way at Jamaica, now them come to Canada, them have to watch every dollar with them spend. It take a toll on the man. So if you have a Jamaican man who is transitioning into the Canadian, and not to mention the culture, because I feel like that's my husband's biggest pet peeve, it's just, you know, getting used to the Canadian work culture, because the working environment here is so different from Jamaica that it shocks your system. It really does shock your system when you come here, when you're not used to that, when you're used to a more relaxed environment, when you're used to an environment where, you know, you can take 2-hour lunch break. No, you only get 30 minutes. It takes a toll on you. But I really just wanted to say, acknowledge that our men have mental health issues as well. And if you have a Jamaican man or a man from anywhere else that is going through depression, acknowledge that, you know, his feelings are valid and exercise some patience with him. Anyway, bless upon yourself.
Hey Ricky, so first and foremost, I want to thank you for this comment. Thanks for the update, bro, and congratulations to your family, but I don't think Canada is the best country to leave Jamaica and go. Because of my observations, Canada is just as hard as Jamaica. Now, this is a very respectful comment, and thank you for the congratulatory message. Big up yourself, appreciate that. Now, I can only speak from my perspective, and I think it's really important for me to give a video response to this comment so that persons can have different perspectives. That's the first things that I wanted to say. Now, I am a born Jamaican, right? Last month I celebrated my 35th birthday, and I've been in Canada now for 5 years. So it means that I've been in Jamaica for the better part of 30 years before migrating to Canada. Now, what was my life like in Jamaica, you might have asked? Now, I went through the regular school system like many persons watching this video right now would have been through. Started college, didn't finish, but have some level of tertiary education. Have a decent middle class job. Worked as a what am I talking about? Worked as a loan officer at a loan company, right? Have a car and loan, paying rent, middle class life, right? But one of the biggest things that I found about Jamaica is that there's not enough opportunities for everybody. And while I love my country deeply, very patriotic, the truth of the matter is a lot of persons have to migrate from Jamaica to get opportunities that, quite frankly, they would have not had gotten in Jamaica. Using myself as example. Now, 5 years being in Canada, and the reason why I advocate for Canada is because that's where I'm living, that's where I've migrated to, and that's where my blessings have came from. And I want to share my journey so that persons have perspective, as I mentioned before. Now, 5 years in Canada, my first job here in Canada was working as a pizza delivery guy, right? While I was an international student, I did that for a little while. And then I ended up working as a part-time teller in a bank. Bearing in mind that I do not have a university degree because, as I mentioned, I started school but never finished in Jamaica. I wanted so bad to work in a bank in Jamaica. I've sent out countless amount of applications to the different respective banks, not even so much as a callback. Now, come to Canada, started working as a part-time teller. Then did that for a year or two, gradually matriculated into a full-time, then a senior teller, and then I became a manager of the front line, meaning that I became in charge of hiring persons to work in a bank. Same person who was not able to get a teller job back in Jamaica, right? Did different roles, financial advisor, senior financial advisor, mortgage, different roles in different banks, right? Point I'm trying to make is this. Those are opportunities that I would not have gotten if I was still in Jamaica. Like, for example, here in Canada right now where I'm at, I'm in Alberta in case you're wondering. I know persons, more than one persons, who are branch managers and they just have high school diplomas. Is that something that's possible in Jamaica? Probably not. Because you might have your bachelor's degree and can't get a teller work in Jamaica. That's just the truth of the matter. And this is not a bash down Jamaica video because, as I mentioned before, I love my country. But you might not be able to get a teller job with a bachelor's. Or you have a master's and you have to settle for a teller job. That's just the truth of the matter. Now, 30 years in Jamaica. Of course, home ownership is something that is big on not just my list, but on everyone's list. Now, my wife and I, we looked into the possibility of buying a house in Jamaica before leaving, but the truth of the matter is we were not able to come up with a down payment, and the amount of funds that NHT was going to give us was not going to be enough to get us a house that we really want, right? So in other words, we would have to settle, which a lot of persons in Jamaica have to do. they have to settle for what NHT or for what they can afford, right? Now, being here in Canada now, this year is my 5th year in Canada. And my wife and I was able to purchase our house here in Canada in less than 4 years. Or a little over 4 years, yeah. Because we got it the latter part of last year. And 2 out of that 4 years was COVID and I was an international student. So technically speaking, within 2 years. After being in Jamaica for 30 years, right? Put that into perspective. Now, we are now homeowners. Now, the other thing I'd like to point out is back in Jamaica, I was driving a Tida, a Nissan Tida, because that was what I could afford to pay for a car payment, right? It was a 2012 Tida at the time. It was like 2016, 2017. That was the year 2018. So 2012 Tida was a decent car at the time, right? Then I moved to Canada. Within the first month after being in Canada, I was able to get a 2016 car. I moved to Canada in 2019, by the way, and whilst it was a 2016 buggy, it was a 2016 car, very nice. Then I upgraded, or probably not say upgraded, but changed to a 2016 Dodge Journey, right? And then earlier this year, we were able to change to a 2024 Volkswagen T1. Right? Nice car. 2024 car. Bossy. Very, very bossy. Point I'm trying to make is this. Those thoughts wouldn't even be in our minds if we're still in Jamaica. Now, let's talk about my daughter. I have a daughter who, since being here in Canada, has been diagnosed with autism, non-verbal. Now, let me tell you this, Ricky. I cannot imagine raising an autistic kid in Jamaica right now. Because from lack of resources to the ignorance of the society, to so many different factors, she would not be able to integrate into the regular school system for one. But here in Canada, my daughter goes to the regular school system. She has an educational assistant assigned just to her to make sure that she's reaching her full potential and her full goals and stuff like that, that I would not have been able to afford in Jamaica or even provide her back in Jamaica. Now, I say that to say this. Anywhere in the world you go, there are going to be opportunities and there are going to be challenges. The truth of the matter is, Canada has a lot more opportunities than what Jamaica has for the majority of people. In everything you have exception. There's going to be somebody watching this right now saying that I stayed in Jamaica and I made it. You are an anomaly. There's not enough opportunities for everybody. And I want to just point that out. Now, because there's not enough opportunities for everybody, some of us have to migrate to find our own opportunities while still representing Jamaica, because, trust me, I know mega people know me I had it. But we have to do things to kind of make it in a life, right? So those are just some of the factors that I'm pointing out. Now, the other factor that I'd like to point out is safety. Now, crime is an issue anywhere in the world you go, and anywhere you go you have to use common sense, right? But where I'm living right now, the type of crime that exists right here, trust me, it's not even crime in my book, right? I don't have to go to my bed at night wondering if my house is going to be shut up or if somebody's going to burn down my house or kick in my door, and gruesome murders and horrific crimes that happen in Jamaica. Whilst it happened here in Canada as well in some parts, it's very few and far in between. And depending on where you live, it might be even fewer and far in between. Now, what I will say is that it depends on where in Canada you live. The opportunities varies based on where you choose to live. So choose wisely. There are some places that has more opportunities than others, right? Don't let anybody discourage you from moving to Canada. I would never discourage anybody from moving to Canada. Keep the right mindset, because it's all about the right mindset. There's enough opportunities here for you to make it. All you need to do is to take one of those opportunities. When somebody tries something and it doesn't work for them, then try to dissuade other persons because it didn't work for them. Don't fall into that trap. Don't let them get you. Don't let them get you. Listen, I'm a real yardie, real Jamaican who migrated, who's telling you guys that, listen, opportunities are there. Go for it. 100%. 150%. Anyways, I appreciate your comment, my bro. 10 minutes is almost up. That's how long it allows me to do this video. So, big up yourself.
Welcome back, guys. I hope you have watched the full clip. So, Jamaicans who have been living in Canada have been complaining lately. They're saying that life in Canada is very difficult. So they have tasted life at home, life in Jamaica. They're saying that some of them are saying that when they were in Jamaica, life used to be a little bit better. Things were good, life was going on well, but when they decided to change life a little bit and maybe moving to Canada, they are regretting that move and they are complaining a lot. They're saying that they are packing their things and going back home. So you have seen in that video, some of them are packing their things and they are done with Canada and they are going back home. So they have managed to explain to us some of the things that are making Canada a difficult country to stay in. And these are the things that you guys should also know, because I know somewhere in Africa, somewhere maybe in Jamaica, somewhere in this world, somebody has that dream of going to live in Canada, going to start life in Canada. Maybe he has his dream was to live and start a family maybe in Canada. So I have done this video just for you to know that when you go to Canada, this is what to expect and this is what not expect. And these are our brothers who are staying there. So this is not just some person talking about things that he doesn't know. These are the people who have been living there, people who have experienced the best part of Canada, people who know how Canada operates. So you have heard that lady, she has talked about things like health system in Canada. They're saying that health system in Canada is very slow, and that is the most surprising part, because I always think here in Africa is where the health system is very poor, very slow. We don't have enough machines to facilitate our health system, but it's so surprising that even countries like Canada, they have problems with the health system. So that has really surprised me, because she's saying that it might take you even 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, for you even to see a doctor. So I wonder, are the doctors busy, or I wonder how they go about that. But that has really surprised me, because here in Africa, clearly we all know African with health systems, we are very behind. We are very far behind when it comes to this health system thing. We don't have machines, we don't have enough medicines to cover our health, whatever. So most of African people, they always have to go abroad to get this better health system. And this includes countries like Jamaica, US, America. But now here are our brothers from Jamaica saying that the health system in Canada is very slow. So that is one thing you should know. They have talked about the taxation. The taxation there is very high. So when you go there, just know as much as you're gonna get well paid, just know you're gonna incur a lot when it comes to their taxes. So their rents, she has talked about so many things. I know you have heard some of them. I don't have to repeat all of them. But now that breaks down to the third guy. So the last guy in my video, he's trying to compare how life was in Jamaica and after going to Canada, how things are now. So according to him, things are a little bit better in Canada than in Jamaica. He's saying that while in Jamaica, the opportunities were very few in Jamaica, but compared to Canada, Canada has very many opportunities, and that's why he thinks Canada compared to Jamaica, Canada is better. So according to him, he's saying that when you go to Canada, there are some places you will meet better opportunities. There are some places life is different. So it's not the whole Canada that is bad, but according to him, he's saying it varies with places. So choose wisely where you are going to stay, choose wisely where you are going to work. So to my brothers in Canada, my Jamaican brothers, African who are living in Canada, I don't know what you guys have to say about that, because according to the last guy, he's saying that since he went to Canada, things are a little bit different as compared to Jamaica. Because according to him, he's saying that in Jamaicans, the opportunities in Jamaicans are not that much. Now, this also goes all the way to our leaders. What are they doing to help with these issues of job opportunities in our countries? Because we need jobs, and that's why we take them to offices. so that they can create jobs for us. But it saddens me when when you see people trying to get out of the country and move to other countries to find better paying jobs, to find better life, to live new life in foreign countries, while we can do that in our own countries. So that is a message that should also go to our leaders, that we are tired of leaving our countries, trying to go find better jobs, better life in foreign countries. And when we reach there, maybe we meet the opposite. It feels bad, somebody coming back, going to another country to find new job, better life, and you find the opposite, and now you have to come back. That is very, very sad. So guys, to my brothers and sisters in Canada, I don't know what you guys have to say about Canada in the comment section. We can share the views about life there and Jamaica, so that to our friends who are maybe considering visiting there, they can be aware of what is happening there. They can be aware of everything that is going on in that country, so that if they choose to go there, maybe they know where exactly to live, or maybe they know where not to go. So in the comment section, tell me what you think about life in Canada, especially for those of you who are my subscribers who are living in that particular country. So thank you for watching, guys. Until my next video, one love.